Story 1. How do you know you're going to get rejected? 9 out of 10 times, it's better to have tried than to live in doubt. The one obvious exception being if there's some reason the two of you simply shouldn't be going out, such as one being in a relationship. Story 2. Even if I have a slight feeling of getting rejected, I like to ask anyway because I told myself I would. For me, it is a cool exercise in holding myself accountable to the things I say I will do, being more confident in myself, and becoming more comfortable with being rejected. Oftentimes, getting rejected just moves you to something better. So ask away, and you might surprise yourself with how good you will feel. I appreciate the likes as well. I hope you all gather the courage to ask her out. Story 3. If the rejection is a guarantee, then no. Why? I would be forcing the responsibility of my feelings onto her, when my feelings are my problem, not hers. It would burden her with the guilt of not being able to return my feelings and pressure her into managing them whether she wants to or not. It might risk the friendship by potentially making her question if I have ulterior motives about maybe getting romance or sex someday. Truth is, if I have a crush on her, it's because she's cool and I like her and we get on well and she adds value to my life. This doesn't change just because she isn't attracted to me sexually or romantically, which is not something women have control over and thus should not be blamed for. At the end of the day, I like her because she's rad, so of course, I would want to keep her in my life as a friend, rather than get possessive and lose her as both a friend and a romance that I could never have. Edit to add, women make the best wingmates. I turned most of my female crushes into my best friends. One of them eventually hooked me up with the one who would become my long-term girlfriend. Don't count women out of your life just because they won't sleep with you. If you're a good dude, they will go to bat for you. Not that this should be your primary reason for being friends with women. Be friends with women because women are rad. But it's true that friendship does have benefits, even if it's not the ones you expect. Edit 2. Obviously, if rejection isn't a guarantee, it changes my answer to maybe. The truth is that real life is often too complicated to provide easy guarantees. In which case, yeah, being honest about your feelings is generally a good approach. You just gotta use your intuition and be tactful about it. I do have some general rules I follow. Do not confess if you're not ready to accept no for an answer and won't be able to take the rejection gracefully. This risks everything, both the romance and the friendship. Do not dump all your feelings with a listen. I've been madly in love with you for a long time. That is way too much pressure to put on a girl and increases the chances of rejection. Do keep it cool and casual, like, so hey, we get along great. Would you be down to go out for a date sometime? Like coffee or a movie? This clearly signals your romantic interest without overloading them with heavy feelings they might not be prepared to handle. Do give her a way out. Like, if not, that's totally cool. This reduces pressure and signals that her friendship is still important. And it better be. Unless you know that you and the other girl are looking for something casual. Do not open up with a declaration like, I think you're really attractive. Let's hook up. That makes it clear you're only into her for the sex. And not only is it rude, it is basically guaranteed not to work unless she's feeling the same way. Do not under any circumstance compliment her appearance in a sexual way. Most women don't like this, and it's not worth hurting, scaring, or objectifying them just for the chance that you'll land on the one who appreciates it. Plus, creeping out your crush without their consent is counterproductive. Do compliment things that a woman has control over, especially choices, decisions, and skills. I love what you've done with your hair. You are amazing with spreadsheets. Your fashion sense is great today. Your gaming skills are impressive, are all compliments the vast majority of women will appreciate, because by focusing on things they have the power to control, you are complimenting their agency as independent entities. Do not ask again after a rejection. She already knows how you feel, so if she changes her mind about you, don't worry, she'll let you know. Do not accept a rejection and then expect or try to change her mind someday. Again, women do not have control over their attraction, and neither do you. All of these do two things: increase my chances, the pragmatic part, and avoid unnecessarily hurting women, the empathetic part. Reminder that while your needs are important, so are hers, And this isn't just about you and what you want. Of course, these rules generally apply well to all gender and sexuality combinations. Story 4. Why would I bother asking someone out I knew would reject me? Do you mean someone I assume will reject me, but I might as well try anyway? Story 5. Depends on what you mean by, you knew you were going to be rejected. If it's a self-esteem issue or you don't think you're good enough, I would suggest asking her out. You'll miss out on so much in life if you let your insecurities and worries dictate your decisions. Those feelings are in your head, not hers. If someone reliable or trustworthy knows she's interested in someone else or has openly expressed no desire to date you, then no, I'd keep it to myself. Story 6. I have to admit that I don't bother anymore. It's easier to just enjoy the fantasies than the facts of life. Why hit yourself with a hammer when it is probably going to hurt? Story 7. Oddly, it's less scary, so the expectations aren't high, but on the odd chance she does say yes, it makes you feel awesome. I'd rather be rejected than wonder if they were into me. Story 8. I did. I wanted to prove a point to my shy friend that rejection is not the end of the world. If she says no, you move on and find someone special elsewhere. So, with him watching, I walked up to a random girl who would, of course, turn down a random stranger. Slight problem, the girl actually agreed to a date, which completely ruined my plan. Further twist, she never answered my calls after that, and I still live so, point proven? Story 9, you never know until you try. Funny thing with highly confident women is they also find confidence attractive. I would also say that some girls whom I have approached, who are intimidatingly attractive, have said that they rarely get approached by men. Catcalled and accosted, yes, but genuinely approached is rarer than you think. Story 10. I think my now husband did not ask me out because he assumed I would say no. Little did he know, I had a huge crush on him. Sadly, we both friend-zoned each other pretty hard when we first met, as we were both seeing other people. Fast forward, I eventually built up the courage to ask him out. He was ecstatic, I was ecstatic. Now we are married. Do not ever assume for her. Story 11. This is the only situation that I have ever asked a woman out in. It's like checking off a box. I get the rejection over with, so I'm not wondering what would have happened for the rest of my life. Story 12. Did that last Thursday with a girl I liked, but I took the shot. Did something that scared the heck out of me, and I'm proud of that. Also, now I get to move on. Story 13. You will regret it if you never even try. Maybe now she might reject you. But imagine one fine day she is meeting someone else and she thinks of you with words ringing in her mind like, damn, I wish he was as brave and gentlemanly as you are to approach me and ask me out, unlike all these fools. Ha ha ha. Go for it. Story 14. It's actually good mental training. You're going to walk away just fine, and the more times you do that and are fine, you'll always be fine. The less you fear the awkward. Story 15. Gave up on dating in my early 30s. Real lonely. Every date was worse than the last. Gave up hope for like 3 years. Got drunk as hell one night about a year back. Fired up an OkCupid. Answered about 80 questions. Saw a gal with a 98% match who was so far out of my league it was like a Hallmark movie-level city model working professional lawyer moving out to the country and falling in love with a blue-collar country boy. Sent her a message. Did not expect even a response. We're moving in together in a month and I am absolutely certain I'm keeping her. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you end up among the stars. Taking the shot, even doubting it'll hit, shows confidence and women love that. If it misses, just sail on past the moon and find another star, my friends. Story 16. Well, assuming she wouldn't reject me because she is happily married, I think I would, just because I live by a code of no risk, no reward. Sure, my confidence isn't always the greatest, and I am an average-looking guy with some extra weight. But then again, she might find my other sides charming. So yes, I probably would and brace myself. Story 17. I wouldn't ask a girl out if she stood in front of me in a skirt, pulled her panties off, threw them at my face, then bent over to show off her butt. My inner voice would be like, I think she likes me. My other inner voice would be like, no, nobody likes you. Nobody. Don't talk to her. You're just a waste of her time, you loser. Then I'd be like, Ma'am, you dropped these. Have a nice day. Story 18. I work in car sales, which has made me numb to any kind of rejection. Also, the worst that can happen is they say no. As long as you are not creepy about it and approach it the right way, you have nothing to be ashamed of if the girl you ask says no. Story 19. Yes. When I dated, I would literally try to connect with almost any lady that I found attractive. I think the results really surprised me. I definitely had 3 or 4 who were beyond my pay grade but were open to dating and were great. I also had a few who were in my league but acted extremely offended or hostile. You never know what will happen, and you have nothing to lose. Like an Easter egg. Story 20. Yes, and I applied to a job I absolutely had no chance on earth to get. Bottom line, the job didn't work, but I got my dream girlfriend, so that's good enough. You'd be surprised how many people think the same as you, and then it creates a vacuum of good candidates. They end up only with over-self-confident people or weird individuals. So if you try anyway, heck, you might as well be the only normal, fun, and laid-back person that has nothing to lose they see all day. Story 21. For those who think that there isn't a ranking happening by most of the attractive girls you meet at the gym and that you might be interested in after high school, take a look at most of their boyfriends. Tall, big, maybe handsome, and more than likely socially awkward and not very intelligent. And as the girls get older, money becomes as important or more so than looks. If you want someone out of your league, get her while you're both still in high school. Otherwise, be realistic. This is why online dating is often full of heartbreak and scams. Many people, especially guys, aim too high. I agree that regardless of how attractive someone is, if you feel there's chemistry, give it a shot, but be prepared for rejection and then be realistic if you want to increase your chances. Physical attraction is hard to avoid because that's the way humans, particularly men, are hardwired. Tell it to my hormones. Story 22. Would you ask a girl out even if you knew you were going to get rejected? No. Why not? Because you knew you were going to get rejected. What planet are you on? Story 23. Why would you ask her out if you know she's going to say no? Unless you don't actually know that for sure and you're just assuming. In that case, go for it. Story 24. When I was younger, no. But now that I am older, yes. Why not? If she says no, at least it will be an opportunity for me to practice speaking to and approaching women. But I never approach anyone cold. It needs to be someone I am somewhat familiar with, and I will also do it in a way that isn't awkward, so if she says no, I will make sure she still feels comfortable and isn't creeped out. Story 25. Yes. You miss 100% of the shots you do not take. Rejection gets a little easier each time until you do not mind anymore, and by that point you will get at least one yes. I do not believe in people being out of anyone's league or whatever. Let her decide if she is interested. Do not make it up in your head. Story 26. Did it a couple of days ago. Got rejected. Hurts like hell, but I'd do that again. I've got nothing to lose, but so much to gain. I just don't want to be alone anymore, so I keep on trying. Story 27. Dude, I didn't ask out girls who were interested in me. I'm married now for many years, so this is no longer applicable, but if I wasn't, it's likely I'd die a hermit. Story 28. I was never very confident talking to women in my late teens and early 20s. I feel like I missed many dating opportunities because of my fear of rejection. Then, one day in university, a woman who I felt was way out of my league sat next to me in class. We chatted a bit, and on a whim, I asked her out at the end of class. We've now been married for almost 8 years and have 2 children together. I've since asked her about that day, and she says she was attracted to my confidence in asking her out, even though inside I felt like a complete loser and was sure I was about to be rejected. Story 29. No, that's really hostile. Now, if you are just assuming you will get rejected because you have no self-worth or self-respect, then grow some by shooting your shot and taking a loss respectfully if she says no. If this person has already told you they are not interested and you are ignoring that communication, then you have boundary issues. Story 30. Better to ask and get a no than never know the answer. You miss 100% of the shots you do not take. This philosophy got me a date with the woman who later became my wife. I figured she was way out of my league, and 25 years later I am still hoping she will not figure it out. Story 31. No. If I knew they would say no, there is no reason to spend the effort. I am not afraid of rejection. If there is even a 1% chance of success, I will go for it. 0%? That is just wasting my own time and her time. Story 32. Well, yeah, because guys are dumb, and we get even dumber around women. We miss hints, ignore signs, and wallow in denial. There's always the possibility that your odds are better than you think. We're our worst critics. I also thought I had no shot with my current girlfriend, and we're practically inseparable now. I was totally wrong about most of my initial assumptions, and if I had listened to the voice in my head saying she wouldn't be satisfied with me, I wouldn't have my best friend. Story 33. Honestly, it's a good way to get over a crush. It gives you a bit of closure and saves you the what if. Learning to deal with rejection is important too if you're younger, but it's never too late to learn.